I want to be here. Now it's the exact opposite. I feel like you got years left ahead of you.
I love this sport. I mean, this sport has given me a life, and the UFC, I've been under them for almost 10 years. And the life, I know a lot of people have their issues with outside, pay and things like that. For me, I've had a life that I know if it wasn't for MMA, I would be in a factory or dead. I don't know. MMA saved my life, and I'm here to. I feel like God has given me a purpose, and I have to see this through. And I'm not done yet. I'm just really getting started. And for me, it's now or never. Like, we know that. We know where I'm at. Back's against the wall. But you guys have seen me down and out before, but this is different.
Nice. Last thing for me, an unlikely rematch. I don't think any of us saw coming. So when they came to you with this name and said, "Here's the fight we're thinking of," what did you think? Was it something that you wanted? What do you like the matchup?
It is. It's first rematch of my career.
Wow.
So, I have over 50 mixed martial arts fights, just a professional, and this is my very first rematch. And, yeah, intensity's there.
Is it hard to get motivated for a rematch?
Absolutely not.
No?
It's not hard for me to get motivated for any fight. I just feel like people understand. My parents tell stories when I was 3-4 years old. I was shadow boxing the air and beating up trees and things like that. Like, it was always a part of me. Like, I was watching Van Damme and Conan and all that at a very young age. And the only thing that I have is that I didn't get into this soon enough. I started fighting. My very first fight was at 17 years old. And I just wow, I would have started this way sooner. But MMA was pretty new back then. Also for me, it's like, especially with the UFC, I started in 1999, and around 2000, 2001, I'm like, man, I want to make this a career. I love this, and the sport was trying to get banned. Yeah. And Dana White and the Fertittas come in and bought the UFC, and as far as the Fertittas knew, they could have been throwing away $2 million. And wow, what a thing they turned it into. And it's like, God bless them. People don't realize that nobody else was willing to throw $2 million at a time. They did save the sport. And the reason I'm so proud to be of it, this is a worldwide thing now. ESPN has picked it up. I have never been as proud as I am now to be part of this. That alone is my motivation. And even now, after everything I went through, to get the fan base that the people reach out, send me from Japan and around Asia and all around North America and Europe, and it's just like, wow, this is a whole world sport. So unlike anything else, it just makes me really proud. I'm ready to perform. I know what the fans want to see, and I know I can give it.
Sir, a few years ago, you had kind of opened up about some mental health problems that you were dealing with. We recently saw Tyson Fury, the world heavyweight boxing champion, do the same thing. Very courageous. I was wondering if you could speak on that at all.
As far as what exactly? I heard a little bit about it, but what exactly?
What sort of things you've dealt with, like depression, anxiety, anger issues, all of the above.
Anger issues is with me since I can first remember. I'm naturally a very angry and intense person. I carry that with me. It fuels me. So it's just part of our family. If you just got to understand the Rothwells and my mom and dad and how we were raised, and God bless them, but they used discipline. With my mom's quote was, she didn't use pine because it broke too fast. She had an old board and she used it. She hit me everywhere but my ass. It wasn't child abuse back then, but it made me who I am. Like, it's part of it. Like, I grew up tough. Like, you had to be. And my problems come from, I don't know, I went through a lot. There was a horrific car accident I was in. It's my story. That my head hit the dash. My friend died next to me. I had 11 broken ribs. The car wreck, it totally changed my life. And I am been diagnosed with hypergonadism because of it. They checked. There's just a lot of things that have been wrong that I've been dealing with. I've had low testosterone even in my early 20s. That's like, obviously there's a problem here. That in turn causes mental health issues like depression. Yes, after Junior Dos Santos, I had to have a knee surgery. So I went from training every day nearly to keep. That's what keeps me. That's why I'm here right now. I'm able to train. I keep my training up. That keeps my body regulated. I was laid out for about 3 months in bed after knee surgery. It ruined me. My testosterone went under. I got severely depressed. Then I was dealing with a loss. I was almost at a title shot, and I was crushed. And they were really worried about me. And my wife was the one that really, took me to get treatment and trying to get through this whole thing. And they were getting me fixed. Then the therapist started working with me. Then USADA thing happened, and then here we go. Like, this might be the thing to really push me off the cliff. And somehow and through all of that, I found a motivation that I've been fighting my whole life. And why am I going to stop now? And there's just something inside of me that said, I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to show the world who I really am and what I can do. And that's been driving me ever since.
That's why it's meant so much to you. You were trying to get better, and people were blaming you for cheating.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. There are a lot of people who have their own different things they're going through, and I feel like somebody in your position could, they could benefit from words of encouragement. Anything that you would like to speak on, that resilience piece, how you got through it?
We take a lot of things for granted. I could be a multimillionaire. I could have been a professional football player. Who knows? My life could have been totally different. But I have the life that I have. And every day I wake up and I just remember to wake up and be thankful for what I do have. I have an incredible wife. I have a lot of loving people around me. God gave me that to make me be smart enough to open a gym that I've watched help change lots of people's lives, children and adults, and it's something that you can't put a dollar amount on. And that gym also got me through that 3-year period. And because of that and how many blessings I have, I was like, I had to remember what I had, and it made me pick myself up every day and I keep fighting for what I am.
Thank you, man.
Cool.
Welcome.